All right, guys. So we're gonna start day 6 of hyperbolas. So this is gonna be the second day of the foci or the focus points. So we're gonna make sure we keep looking back at our notes and taking our time through it. It's gonna be a little tricky. I also need to pull up a calculator. All right, so let's get this started. Okay. So remember, there's a couple things that we want to do. First, we're going to take a look at the direction of the graph to determine is it vertical or horizontal. And the first thing we look at this one here, it starts out with X, so it is horizontal. So I'm going to go ahead and look at our notes here. I'll zoom it up. All right, so any horizontal, the focus point is at H plus or minus C, comma K. So I like to take care of the part that's not being added or subtracted. In this case, it's the K. And that's the number at the end. And so that's the number being subtracted from the y. There is no number being subtracted from the y, so those are both at 0. Okay, playing with Legos. All right, next, to find this number here, we're going to take and look at the formula again. It is H plus or minus C. H is the number next to the X, and then C, if you remember from yesterday, it's up here in the notes. C is, well, C squared is A squared plus B squared. So to get C, we're going to add these two numbers at the bottom together and then take the square root of it. So we have H, the top number, add or subtract the square root of the bottom two numbers added together. So the number at the top is 0, and we're going to add or subtract whatever the square root of those two numbers together is. I will use the TI-83 calculator. Hopefully you guys are able to find this on your Chromebook. Just do a search for TI in your calculator, and this should have been pushed to you a couple weeks ago. Once it all went down, I emailed the company and was able to get everybody in the school a copy of this. At least that's what they said. I got a couple calculus kids that said it's there. All right, so we have 0. We're going to do minus first. The square root of what is 121 plus 36? So 157. 157. Press enter. And there's our first answer, negative 12.522. Okay, so that would be, okay. This is going to be fun. Negative 12.5300 when we round. Negative 12.5300. I will have to double check that when we're done. All right, and then the next one, we're going to do 0 plus that. Really, since it's 0, it's not going to change too much. It's just going to change the negative to a positive, but we'll double check that answer. You know what I need to do? I need to double check that I'm sharing this, right? Yep, I am. So positive 12.5300. Okay, so here we go. That one wasn't too bad, pretty simple at the beginning. We're just going to take our time. All right, so now our next 3 problems, you can see they're a little bit more complicated. We'll take our time with it. Okay, so we determine whether it's vertical or horizontal. This one is going to be vertical because it starts out with the y. And so let's look at our notes here to see what's the easy part. All right, well, so when we have I and we're trying to find a focus point, the beginning part is what doesn't change. So that's going to be H, which is the number next to the X, or the number subtracted from it, which would be a negative 2 in each case. So we got a negative 2 and a negative 2. Now to find out this other number, you can see what we do is we take the opposite of this, which would be negative 8, and we add or subtract. Yeah, bud.
I want to go downstairs.
Okay, yeah, you go downstairs. I'll be done in a couple minutes. All right. See it? You want to say hi to everybody?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry about that. We're going to take, Bowie, please. You want to down lower so everybody can see you? You want to sit on my lap? All right, Bowie, we can't right now.
But I can't see.
Here.
No.
Sorry about this, guys. All right, so we're going to take negative 8, and we're going to subtract and add the square root of these two numbers added together. So we're going to take negative 8. I'm first going to subtract because that would make it lower. The square root of, okay, 36 plus 25 would be 61. right, so that's negative 15.8102. Negative 15.8102. And then to get the other number, we're going to take that negative 8 and we're going to add the square root of those two numbers together. So, no, I'll show you a trick. If you're on the TI calculator, if you press second enter, it types back in. I'm just going to tab over, change that minus sign to a plus sign. There we go. So that is a negative 0.1898. Negative 0.1898. I'm going to have to double check these answers. They seem crazy, but they probably are. Foci points are really weird. Okay. So hopefully you guys can start to see a pattern here as we do more and more examples. So we first check to see whether it's horizontal and vertical, and we know the answer is going to be the same. It's going to be -1, but does -1 go in front here or does it go at the end here? I'm going to look back at our notes. So if we have it start out with x and it's horizontal, the end point here, k, which is the -1 back in our case. So the last number is going to be -1 in both of these. Now this other number, we take this number here, which in this case will be a +3 because it's the opposite of the -3, +3, and we're going to add or subtract the square root of those two numbers added together. So we're going to take +3, and we're going to first subtract the square root of, what was it, 9 and 4? 9 and 4, that would be 13. So we get negative 0.656 one around. Negative 0.65, or I already forgot. 6056. All right. And then we're going to do the opposite. We're going to add. Hey, Bo, can you go to another room, please? Can you go to the other room, or can you go downstairs, please? No. All right. Well, let's not tease Ollie, okay? All right. We do the opposite. We add, and we get positive 6.6056. All right. These answers are weird, but we got to trust them. They'll be all right. Okay, one more problem. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look back at these examples to see. All right, so this problem started out with y equals, and we got a -2 because that was the opposite of x here in the front. So I'm going to say, okay, this would be a -1 in the front here, just like that. Now this number here is going to be +1, and then we are going to add or subtract the square root of these two numbers. This actually might come out nice. And I'm going to double check that. Okay. All right. So we got a +1 here. And we're going to subtract the square root of 9 plus 16 is 25. Yeah, that should come out real nice. That should be -4. I'm just going to type in -4. Hopefully we don't have to put in decimals. And then what we're going to do is the opposite of that. We'll do 1 plus the square root of 25. And we get a +6. Okay. Got those. Let's submit our answers. Let's see if I did anything wrong or right. Oh, 4 out of 4. So hopefully you guys can see to find the foci points, it's a little bit difficult. But if you watch these videos, it's not too bad, or follow the formulas. What I want you guys to do, we'll take a look at what we're going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to find the equations of the asymptote. So very similar looking problems, except for we're going to answer everything in y equals mx plus b. So we're going to find some equations. So we'll talk about what that means. It is in the notes how to do it here, but I'd say this is a formula that's nice if you plug everything in and then simplify it. But I'll show you guys another way to do this. Okay, check the chat to see if there's any questions. No? All righty. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Sorry you guys saw a little glimpse of being a parent during this pandemic, but you guys have a great day. Enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Have a good one.